let's take a look at an example of using decomposition to factor a trinomial. Now remember that when we are factoring a trinomial, we are trying to find which two binomials, when they multiply together, will give us this trinomial. This example that we're going to look at has a positive c value but a negative b value. And so we have to take a look at how do we come up with that answer. So let's follow step by step. The 6 steps that I've gone through in other videos, if you've taken a look at those, or I will just explain the 6 steps to you as we go through. Step number 1, we need to multiply the coefficient in front of our a squared term as well as our constant term together. And how I recommend that, or how I say that, would be multiply the a and the c together. A is 1, c is 30. So we're going to take 1 times 30 is 30. All right, step 2, determine the factors of 30. Well, here's our pairs of factors of 30. 5 times 6, 2 times 15, 3 times 10, and 1 times 30, in no particular order. Now, which of those factors, so step 3, is which of those pairs of factors will add to negative 11? Now, you might notice really quickly that 5 and 6 give you positive 11. Okay, and they'll be like, oh, good, it's 5 and 6. Well, no, we need to find the negative 11. We can't find positive 11. We need negative 11 for this trinomial here. So we have to find a pair of factors that multiply to 30 and add to negative 11. The nice thing is that when the two numbers have the same sign, they're going to multiply to a positive number. So if they are both negative, such as negative 5 and negative 6, like this one here, those two are going to add to negative 11. All right, so there we go. That's step 3. We have found our pair. Now, if you are looking for these factors, normally it's going to be no problem if you just find just the ones you need. You don't have to go and find all of them. Just find the pair that you need and will work for your factoring. All right, once we have these, we need to decompose. So this is where we take our middle term, negative 11, and we decompose that into negative 5a and negative 6a. Now, the order that you put this in doesn't matter. If you do the negative 6 first and the negative 5 second, that's totally fine. You're going to come up with the same answer as long as you follow the process correctly. So here we go. Let's factor so this is step 4. Let's factor a greatest common factor from a squared and negative 5a. Well, because there's a 1 in front of the a squared, the biggest number will be 1, but we can take an a out of those two. So we're going to have a, and then a minus 5 happens to be our dividend, or the remainder from taking the greatest common factor out. Second step now is to do the next two pieces, the negative 6a and the 30. Now, what you'll notice very quickly is when you look at something like this, you're going to say, we can take a 6 out. And that's really good because we can. It is the greatest common factor. But when we do that, we're going to get a negative a plus 5 inside our brackets. And we always need to make sure that inside of our brackets has the same thing. So to get a positive a and a negative 5, we're going to have to take a negative 6 out. So the 6 has to be negative so that we get a minus 5 in both sets of brackets. Very important when we're doing our factoring of our greatest common factor. Now, once we have this piece, a minus 5 is one of our factors, and a minus 6 is the other one. Again, this is just how we need to make sure that we show our work. In a case like this, you may notice that the two factors you found that were multiples of 30 and add to negative 11 were negative 5 and negative 6. They happen to be in our answer. When our a value is positive 1, we can use that to factor our trinomial very quickly by finding two numbers which multiply to the c value and add to the b value, and that will be our answer right there. We just have to make sure that we write it out properly. All the best as you keep trying and working on your problems.